As the year winds down and the holidays draw near, a year-long battle is set for one last showdown. The Canadian Rally Championship has yet to be decided. Two teams have crossed the country in the hopes of bringing the title home to their families. Andre and René Leblanc, smooth and consistent longtime rallyists, lead the points race as they chase a lifelong dream. Marc-Andre Brisebois and Marie-France Desmarais-Trepigny are mounting a serious challenge. Both teams are worthy of having their names on the Fiddler Cup, but only one can win. The 2021 Canadian Rally Championship's final event, the Big White Winter Rally, will crown the champion. Welcome to the frosty, snowy wonderland that is Kelowna, British Columbia, home to skiing, snowboarding, and the final round of the Canadian Rally Championship, the Big White Winter Rally. A layer of ice beneath 12 snow-covered stages is ready to punish any of these teams if they push too hard. And if that wasn't enough, there's a snowstorm due to roll in just as the teams are getting warmed up. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Confidence in motion. Championship points leaders Andre and René Leblanc will lead the teams into the stages. A chance at having their names on the Fiddler Cup has been the goal of this team for years, and they've played it very smart to date. Steady refinement of their car, coaching from six-time champ Frank Sprongel, and solid rapport between these brothers have brought them to the point where they are now defending a 10-point lead. It has not been an easy road for them. They were knocked out of the lead of the championship at Rally Charleroi, but clawed it back at the attrition-filled Rally of the Tall Pines. These experiences have seasoned this team. Mindful of the impending snowstorm, Leblanc hits the ground running, setting the fastest time on the first two stages. But speed alone doesn't win championships. Strategy is a key factor, which is why Frank Sprongel is running as Leblanc's teammate this weekend. Having more fast cars in the mix makes it harder for Brisebois to win, skewing the odds even further in Leblanc's favor.
Into 5 left, cut 50.
This car is loaded with experience. Sprongel and co-driver Alan Ockwell have 11 championships between them. Although it's been a few years since Sprongel has attacked the stages, he's also a master of ice and snow, and he's setting top 3 times through the first loop. West Coast regulars Graham Bruce and Martin Burnley have enough experience on these roads to take a cautious approach through the night stages. Their strategy pays off, tiptoeing their way between the snowbanks to top 5 stage times. On the other end of the strategy spectrum, Nick Wood has his right foot glued to the firewall. He and Jennifer Daly are absolutely caning their two-wheel drive Datsun into the top 5. After a bit of a slow start, Kyle Tilley is rapidly finding the speed necessary to challenge for the podium. This is Kyle's first time driving on snow, but he's stacked the deck in his favor, with Alex Gelsomino calling the notes and McKenna Motorsports providing an exceptionally capable car. He sets the fastest time on stage 3. The question on everyone's mind is, what's happening with Marc-Andre Brisebois? He and co-driver Marie-France Desmarais-Trepigny are clearly off the pace through the first loop. The test racing team needs to win the rally and hope Leblanc has some bad luck to earn the title. But early on, it appears that Brisebois is having difficulty staying in the top 10. He will need to sort out the problem soon. Every stage matters here. Brisebois' troubles opens the door for Nicholas Spencer. He and co-driver David Ma pull ahead of the championship contender by stage 3. This duo seems perfectly at home in the slippery conditions. An attrition could put them in the hunt for the overall podium if they keep it smooth. The battle in two-wheel drive is spirited this weekend. David Clark and Jamie Willits are always fast and entertaining in their rear-wheel drive BMW, but a mistake cost them time early on.
You got good traction.
Yep.
Pete tightens three very late into left 5 minus. Wait for the camera, guys. We're in a very dangerous spot here.
Okay, get the triangle.
They're briefly stuck perpendicular to the road, but eventually continue on undamaged.
They're 2-minute windows, don't worry.
2008 two-wheel drive champion Eric Kuchowski is back in the hot seat this weekend. He's driving Jason Bailey's title-winning Fiesta with the hopes of earning Shane Peterson the class co-driving championship. Kuchowski is of the old school, setting a fast but safe pace through the first loop. To earn Peterson the title, they have to beat Wim Vanderpoel and Brian Lord. Champions in their own right, they're not going to make it easy. Three stages in, and LeBlanc leads the rally, but Tilley's increased speed has him only 10 seconds back. Sprongel, Wood, and Bruce are all within 20 seconds of the lead, with Wood leading two-wheel drive. The teams head to service before another loop of stages in the dark. The snowstorm is approaching, and Brisebois is limping. More after the break. Back at the Big White Winter Rally, the teams arrive for service after the first loop of stages, and LeBlanc is exactly where he wanted to be.
We're leading the rally, and we're gaining time on Brisebois on every stage at the moment, so job done for the first leg, yep. On the second stage, it was surprisingly lots of grip, so we could have been faster, but in the last one, it started to be icy, so now the second loop will be something.
So yeah, yesterday was my very first time driving on snow, so we're slowly figuring out what we're doing, but no, just having a blast, and as I said, this thing's awesome on any surface, so we'll see what happens this evening.
First loop done. We have a little bit of issues with the grip at first, but now we're getting into the pace, so we're trying to get better on the next loop.
We were actually really surprised when we looked at the times. It felt quickish, but we didn't think we were as quick as that, but we'll take it. The snow's getting pushed off, so with the skinny tyres we're actually biting through the snow into the ice, so we're actually getting some good grip.
You know that Jason is laying in Mexico on the beach right now and let his co-driver struggle to get the national championship for co-driving? Unacceptable. So we are focusing on Shane, that he will survive this weekend.
With all this talk of championships, let's look at the driver's title point standings and what they mean. After winning the penultimate round, LeBlanc holds a 10-point lead over Brisebois. That means that for Brisebois to win the championship, he has to win the rally, and LeBlanc has to finish 5th or below. It might sound far-fetched, but a mechanical or a snowbank excursion could swing the results in Brisebois' favor. The teams are back on the stages, and the LeBlancs lead them into the snowstorm. Visibility drops dramatically. Those teams with good notes and trust between the driver and co-driver will have a significant advantage. LeBlanc slows down, keeping the bigger picture, the championship, in view. Having never driven on snow before, Kyle Tilley makes a bold choice and goes all in, trusting Alex Gelsomino's notes. They take a massive win on stage 4, pulling into the lead. Bruce and Burnley leverage their experience and rapport to move up the leaderboard, as do Spencer and Ma. The two Western Canadian teams set top 3 times on stages 4 and 5, knocking LeBlanc down the leaderboard. They'd have an easier time of it, but Frank Sprongel and Alan Ockwell are proving that they earned every title they have the hard way, dicing it up with the Western contingent and refusing to give up ground.
And short 4 left cut.
They're in the fight for the podium through the loop. Marc-Andre Brisebois and Marie-France Desmarais-Trepanier needed their luck to turn around in this loop, but it goes from bad to worse instead. Traction problems give way to engine issues, and their hopes begin to die when the car refuses to accelerate to highway speeds.
Attention déceptible 3, droite 3 au sapin inside. Attention déceptible droite 3 au sapin inside.
Another championship is decided when Wim van der Poel damages his radiator with a high-speed spin and is forced to retire. This hands the two-wheel drive co-driver's title to Shane Peterson. That means one of the two goals are complete for this team. Now, Grachowski just has to win the two-wheel drive class to keep Jason Bailey happy. A tall order with Nick Wood and Jennifer Daly dicing it up with the overall podium contenders. With the night stages complete, Tilley's bold strategy earns him a solid lead. Bruce and Sprongel round out the top three, while LeBlanc's safe strategy drops him to fifth. But the big news is that Brisebois and Desmarais Trepanier have been towed back to service with a blown engine.
We had issues since we serviced and we didn't tell anybody, but we had like power issues because there was a big snowstorm, so it kind of slowed down everybody. So I was like, okay, we can make it to the end of this loop, but actually the engine died, or they'll try to fix it. Maybe we'll go back tomorrow. Never know.
Efforts to repair the damage are in vain, and Brisebois is forced to retire and concede the championship to LeBlanc. It was a hard-won battle for the brothers, who fought their way through a season that saw 4 teams swap the points lead 5 times. Mailloux and Brisebois proved themselves to be worthy adversaries and serious threats for next year. But today, Andre and René Leblanc are your 2021 Canadian Rally champions. With the title decided, there's still a whole day of rallying to go and nothing left to lose. The final day of stages of the 2021 Canadian Rally Championship dawns crisp and cold at the Big White Winter Rally. With the championships decided, all that's left to see is who will stand atop the podium today. Nobody would have predicted Tilley's stunning pace. Yes, he's proven his speed on the stages in America. Yes, he's got one of the best co-drivers in the business calling the notes. Yes, he's driving a car capable of standing up against anything anyone has to offer. But putting all of that together in unfamiliar conditions is a testament to his skill and strategy. And this is before tire choice is factored in. Tilley is not running studded tires. He won't be allowed to use them at the only snow rally in America, so he doesn't want to get used to them. Can the LeBlancs leverage their superior experience on ice and snow to take time out of Tilley? It's too early to tell, but the brothers have the freedom now to explore the limits without the championship to worry about. For them, rallying is a passion, and now it's time to have some fun. With the snowstorm behind them, they seem far more comfortable and fluid in the car, using every millimeter of the road. It pays off. LeBlanc jumps 3 places over the first 2 stages, back up to second behind Tilley. With the apprentice's mission completed, the master can now focus on speed. Frank Sprongel wants to show the young guns what the veterans know, but a combination of snow tires and a rare mistake causes him to spin out. The time lost is minimal, but this rally is quickly becoming a game of seconds, and this mistake cost Sprongel and Ockwell 2 places, dropping them to 5th. But this is just the first in a slew of trouble to beset the top teams. After flying through the first part of the loop, Nick Wood and Jennifer Daly look set to dominate the 2-wheel drive field for the rest of the day. But the pace turns out to be unsustainable.
It's slippy.
Don't want to turn.
Yeah, okay, so let's just dial it in. Are we stuck, Nick?
No.
Okay, we have to...
Right, hang on.
What? Think so?
This Snowbank excursion cost them 10 minutes, dropping them to 3rd in class and making the win unlikely. Having climbed as high as 2nd, Graham Bruce and Martin Burnley also make a mistake that cost them their hopes of a podium. The slow speed off is just enough to high center the car, not enough to cause damage or end their day, but enough to cost them valuable time. They drop to 10th. This should open the door for Nicholas Spencer and David Ma to collect the pieces, but they also find the wrong side of a snowbank, knocking them down to 9th and well out of contention. Dave Clark wants to catch Eric Grachowski, but he and Jamie Willits will have to take 15 seconds out of the Fiesta on every stage to do it. Clark is fast, and the BMW has a power advantage, but Grachowski has years of experience and a two-wheel drive title to his name. Add in the slippery roads, and it could go either way. Through the loop, Clark can't make up enough ground on Grachowski, the gap only shrinking slightly. Near the front of the pack, LeBlanc continues to stretch his legs, determined to show mentor Frank Sprongel what he's made of. The two teammates are pushing each other to quicker stage times as each kilometer ticks by. Sprongel wins stage 9, then LeBlanc wins stage 10. The friendly rivalry begins eating into Kyle Tilley's lead. He started the loop with almost 2 minutes over LeBlanc, and knows that his chances of winning will erode if he starts pushing to win individual stages. He makes the smart decision to maintain a margin of error, a choice that keeps him from bleeding too much time. Tilley and Gelsomino's lead shrinks by 30 seconds by the end of the loop, but they still have over a minute to the LeBlancs. Sprongel and Ockwell round out the top 3, and Grachowski leads two-wheel drive. One last quick service, and then it's the final loop of stages of the 2021 Canadian Rally Championship when we come back. This is it. One last chance to tune the car for the final stages of the 2021 Canadian Rally Championship. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Confidence in motion. The previous loop caused a major shakeup in the two-wheel drive battle.
Oh man, those pesky snowbanks just dragged us in, got stuck down halfway down a ditch, nothing we could do, so we'll see what we can do. If we're still on the podium, that's fine.
First of all, we were trying to keep Dave back, and we ended up putting time on him on the first stage down, and that was very reassuring. That meant we were still in the fight with Dave. That was great. We were looking forward to keeping that up. We started the next stage after that and saw Nick Wood and Jen on the side of the road. That changes everything now.
With Tilley's commanding lead, LeBlanc and Sprongel are happy to duke it out with each other.
As expected, the second loop was really slippery, but yeah, Frank beat me by 3/10 of a second, and I beat him the way back, so it's kind of nice little fight between us. We're second and third, so it's just perfect for us at the moment.
I pulled one off 0.3 of a second, still a win. No, we went to studded tires, and also the confidence in my notes is kind of building up, so it's kind of showing overall our stage times now.
Out on the stages, Kyle Tilley and Alex Gelsomino are still maintaining speed, even without studded tires. Tilley is patient when he needs to be, but pours on the speed when warranted. It will be interesting to see how he performs in the 2022 American Rally Association Championship. If he can continue developing at this pace, he is sure to be a threat for the win at any rally he enters. The friendly rivalry between LeBlanc and Sprongel continues. Having spent the entire season focused on the run for the championship, these last few stages provide the chance for Andre and Rene to tap into their passion and race just for the sake of racing. Having worthy adversaries just makes it that much sweeter. Sprongel and Ockwell are happy to oblige LeBlancs with a proper fight, holding nothing back.
Keep right into cut short 4 left uphill 50.
They post another win on stage 11. Although well out of contention, Nicholas Spencer manages to clock in only 2 seconds behind Sprongel, surprising even the LeBlancs, and then goes on to win stage 12. If fortune had played out a little differently, they might have been fighting for the podium at the end. These conditions often reward patient drivers who set a smooth and consistent pace, and it works out in David Barg's favor. He and co-driver Matt Lund slide into 4th overall. With only 2 stages to go, Dave Clark and Jamie Willits pull out all the stops to try and catch Grachowski and Peterson. Pushing to the limits of traction and beyond, Clark starts reeling in Grachowski, but the risks are starting to get extreme.
Break and pray, break and pray. Right 5+, then left 5- long.
But Grachowski refuses to be goaded into a costly mistake. He and Peterson drive smoothly through the final loop. The gap between the top two-wheel drive cars shrinks to barely 40 seconds, but Grachowski hangs on for the win. As the final stage kilometers click down to the finish, Sprongel and Ockwell continue to keep the LeBlanc brothers honest. It was a fair fight. Andre and Renee can now proudly add beating their mentor to their long list of accomplishments this season. Nobody could have predicted Kyle Tilley's pace this weekend. To face these conditions for the very first time and come out with the overall win is unheard of in this sport. But that's exactly what he and Alex Gelsomino do. Having faced slippery roads with less than ideal tires, and an entry list loaded with veterans, Kyle Tilley comes out on top and wins the Big White Winter Rally. The LeBlanc brothers finished their championship season by taking second place. Sprongel and Ockwell proves there's no rust on either of them with third place. Grachowski and Peterson take the two-wheel drive win and earn Peterson the class co-driver title. Andre LeBlanc wins the overall driver's title, followed by Brisebois and Mailloux. Wim Vanderpoel's DNF hands Jason Bailey the two-wheel drive championship.
This weekend was two dreams. One was to be on the podium with Frank Sprongel, and the second one and the biggest one was to become Canadian champion. So it was kind of a perfect weekend. I'm really, really happy about the weekend, yeah.
Big thanks to everybody who's involved in that. Hey, yeah. It's not just us. Awesome ride.
Yeah, the LeBlancs, they won the championship. The whole goal was come here and assure that they win the championship, which they did. And then for me, it was just to finish the rally and have fun. We did great. We had a couple of big moments today. We're happy with our accomplishments and the stage times.
I don't really know what to say. Really, last night was probably what set it up for us in the snow. And today we were just hanging on. So we were just trying to manage that gap without throwing it off the road, which was easier said than done.
Jason wasn't able to come and do this rally, and he said, take my car, go win Shane the championship, and go win. I'm really happy to see the car and Shane open the season at Bay with a win and finish it at Big White with a win. I think that's cool.
From the start of the first stage of the 2021 season, it was clear that the spirit of rallying was back in Canada after the challenges of the previous year. A level of energy we've not seen in nearly a decade kept everyone on the edge of their seats to the very last kilometer. Congratulations to the LeBlancs for earning their first spot on the Fiddler Cup, and we look forward to seeing everyone back out on the stages for the next exciting season of the Canadian Rally Championship.